Hello everyone, it's Nancy Vastine, and I've been making these butterfly embellishments, and I'd like to show you how I made these. So I'll tell you what you're going to need. You're going to need some vellum, and I've had vellum for years and years and years, probably almost 10 years I've had this vellum. Didn't know what to do with it. And so you're going to need that. You're going to need a butterfly stamp, and I chose this one. I don't know where it's from, but and you're going to need some embossing powder and some embossing glue and any kind of watercolor or markers that you like. Now I'll tell you what I've done. This one was done with distress markers, Ranger's distress markers. This one and this one were done with aqua markers. This one was done with Posca pen, and I didn't quite like how it came out. It kind of separated because it kind of wanted, the paint pen wanted to roll off of the vellum. This one was done with Pitt pens, Faber-Castell Pitt pens. So out of all of these, I like this butterfly the best. So that's what I'm going to show you today, how to do these. So I'm going to get my nifty pad that I stamp on, my vellum paper, and I'm going to use Versamark. It seems to be a little more wet. It stays wet longer. And so I'm going to stamp out 2 of these. I don't know if you'll be able to see them when I stamp them out or not. Oh, yesterday I had a time with the embossing powder. Yeah. I was trying to be so careful. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's on there. And I was trying to be so careful and get it back in the jar. And I went to reach for the jar, and the lid was off of it. And of course, I spilled it, tipped it over. Leave it to Nant. But I wasn't feeling too good yesterday. I was real shaky, and yeah, you know how it goes. I'm kind of shaky again today, but not as bad as I was yesterday. So, I'll show you how this is done. After I get it stamped on there, then I'm going to get my embossing paper. And my embossing, this is Judican's embossing powder in black. I'm just going to pour that on there. Make sure I have good coverage. Then I brush off the excess. I need to go over this other one a little bit. I'm going to have to put this embossing powder in one of those Tupperware or plastic containers from Glad or whatever they are. So I'll quit spilling it everywhere. I haven't used embossing powder for so many years, I forgot how to use it. Anyway, I saw this on Pinterest, this idea. Just going to wipe that off of my mat here before I heat this up. And wipe my stamp off a little bit. Okay, let's heat it up. I don't know why my vellum wants to curl. All right, good job here. Okay, so I'm going to use pit pens. I like that the best. Now, if you don't want them as vibrant as these are, if you don't want them as vibrant, you color them on the back side of the vellum. If you want a more pastel look, but I like them vibrant. And I was playing around with this and broke off the antennas after I was so careful to cut them out. So anyway, I think I want some pink. This is Pink Matter. And I want some yellow. And I want some, I think I took my black pit pen out of here because I can't find a black, but I want some purple and what other color? Orange. Orange. Okay, I'm just gonna get busy and start coloring it, and they're just really easy to color. Just color like you want it to be. Just like that. You can use any kind of marker. You can use Crayola marker if that's all you have. I just found out that the paint pens don't work so good on the vellum. I mean, it was okay, but it kind of wanted to bubble, separate. Now I do have a black pit pen in here. Maybe the brush one. And of course it's probably on the bottom. This isn't the one that goes with my set. I don't know where that one is. I took it out for some reason and to color on something, I'm sure. And I don't remember where I put it. I think I like this butterfly the best because it has more open space to color. If I remember correctly, I think these are stamp pandas. See how pretty that makes it? You can use these on all kinds of in your journals, on your, if you make cards, on ATCs, anything like that. You can put these on it as an embellishment. I just think they're so cool. Alright, now I'm going to color this one a little bit different colors. I'm going to use a different color of that. I want teal, cobalt green. I guess that's what it is. I was trying to find teal. Cobalt turquoise. This doesn't say what it is. Light. It's written so light I can't see. Anyway, I want blue, teal, and I want green. Just to show you different colors. It's so easy to color these in too because they're embossed. You don't have to worry about staining the lines. We have every year a butterfly show in Cincinnati, and they check you before you leave to see if you got any butterflies stuck to your clothes or anything. I swear, one time, this big, huge, I mean, it was the biggest butterfly I have ever seen, flew into our screened-in porch at my mother-in-law's house. And it was black. It was black and yellow. The most beautiful butterfly I have ever seen in my life. And I took pictures of it, but I don't know what happened to the pictures. I think they're on a CD or I think they were probably on a CD. But anyway, I think it escaped from that butterfly convention because I never saw another one like it again. I'm going to still use a little bit of yellow in here. It was beautiful. It was so pretty. I captured it in my hand and let it go so it wouldn't die in the screen porch. I don't know. I think it came in when we had the door open for the dogs or something, but it didn't know its way out. So I caught it in my hands and it fluttered around in my hands. It felt so cool. Really cool looking feeling. That's not very dark, but it's different. Can hardly see that blue, but it's on there. I'll put a titch of orange in here. And then color in the body. And then I'm going to run the heat gun over it just a little bit. And then I'm going to cut them out. And then I'll show you what you can do after you get them cut out. These are my shear and Schnitt scissors. And that's a German cutting craft. I'll have to get out my books and show you sometime. I used to do that. I used to cut out, make patterns. I have pattern books and you trace a pattern on paper and then cut it out. Really intricate cuts. It should have to, yeah. Like all of this would be cut out. You know, it was, yeah. I did that a couple of things. Christmas scenes for my mother-in-law. And I think they're in her Christmas ornament box. She doesn't use anymore because they don't put up a tree. They don't fool with a tree anymore. Because I'm not there to do it, and Linda won't do it for her mom, and I think that's really sad because her mom enjoyed that so much. But what am I to say? I'm not saying anything. Can you see what I'm doing? No, because I'm not in the... Why don't you guys yell at me? Tell me I'm not in frame. I hate that. Got to be more conscious of that. So if you have vellum hanging around in your arsenal that you don't know what to do with, try making some of these. And I also saw a lady, I think she was a German lady. I think the writing on the YouTube, or not YouTube, it was Pinterest, was in German. She showed some flowers that she made out of vellum and embossed them. And she embossed them with a white embossing powder. And then she cut them out and made these beautiful flowers. They were gorgeous. They were stacked on top of each other and made them real fluffy. Something that I would never use in a art journal or any kind of art thing that I do for embellishment. They're too fluffy. Too fluffy. Okay, I got it cut out pretty much. Could go in here a little bit. Okay, got that one cut out. Let me do this one. So anyway, I was just going to town using all my stamps, different stamps that I had, and I didn't like that great big one. I don't even think it was a butterfly. I think it's a moth. But I have a great big huge butterfly. And I got it because Sarah on my Serenity Crafts, she had it and was using it for something, and so I thought, oh, that's cool. I need to get me one. So I did. And I've used it several times, but I think it's too big because I want to use these on ATCs and, you know, stuff like that. I don't do cards anymore. I hope I'm not cutting that antenna off. Yeah, I used to be a card maker when I first started. And then I went in, then I found YouTube, and I found live shows for making scrapbooks. So I started making scrapbooks, and I think I've told you this story 100 times. Then I was diagnosed with a brain tumor after I had a seizure one morning. And yeah, and then I couldn't grasp the measurements. I couldn't do the measurements anymore. Just couldn't wrap my brain around it anymore, so I quit scrapbooking and went into mixed media. And I love mixed media because you can do anything you want. Besides that, I'd make all these scrapbooks and never put pictures in them. Never. After I made them and embellished them, I never would go back put pictures in them. So I had all these scrapbooks sitting around with no pictures in them. How stupid is that? And I bought all the scrapbooking paper, loads and loads of scrapbooking paper. and I had a Cricut machine, and I cut out stuff on a Cricut machine, and I gave my Cricut machine away to a little girl that is a friend of my mother-in-law's, but she loves to do cards and stuff. She started in on that, so I gave her my Cricut machine and all my things that went with it and all my cartridges, and yeah. So then I bought a scan and cut, and I still don't know how to use it very good. Okay, now to get your wings to do what you want them to do, I just take my fingernail and kind of scratch the back of the vellum and kind of roll it. I'm not sure if you could do this with a stylist. I just started doing this because they were curling up the other way. I didn't like them that way. And so I started doing this, and they just molded right in to what I wanted them to do. So they turn under a little bit, and then you can fold them up however you want to glue them on your, and there you have it. There's one. And here's the other one. I'm just rubbing my finger on the back. And some of my, I don't know why, but some of my, look at that. It must have not been melted. My embossing powder. Huh. Is rubbing off on that one. I must not have got it melted right. Darn it. Oh well, I'll go around it with a black pen now. But I'm just doing it with my fingernail. Kind of shaping it how I want it. And then you can bend it. Bend the wings up. And there you have it. See, my embossing powder must not have been melted. I don't think it is on the ends. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you go and make some of these because they're kind of fun. You kind of get addicted to them, and then you make a jillion of them. See? You make a million of them, and you have them for your art, however you want to use them. So thanks for watching, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and please, when you subscribe, hit the little bell that's next to the subscription, and that will give you notification of when my next video is going to be out. Alright, thanks guys. Bye bye.